Today the weather is awful in the UK. I'd be outside in the garden, but it's all wet. My yoga mat's wet, so I take the other yoga mat out and we're in the kitchen. Okay, wow, yeah, Friday morning. Hi, I'm Penny. My company's Penny Jane, that's my name. Okay, so, hello Reg. Hello Reggie. Okay, yoga. Movement, breath. A fabulous combination for getting you out of here and into your body so that you can become more aware of yourself, so that you become more in tune with yourself, so that you find yourself being able to lean into your intuition, your inner intelligence, your instincts a little bit more, and then you just fall quicker and quicker. It's like a process, right? So movement is really good for that. And movement with breath is really good for that. And then there's certain movements that really help to really, you know, fire up your energy centers. I just got my, so move back a minute. I just sat here chit-chatting to you. Grab your mat. And just pointing one toe, flexing the others. Pointing one toe, flexing the others. You know, our feet really don't get much of a look at, do they? You know, apart from when we decide to buy a really nice pair of trainers or shoes or flip-flops or whatever, and then we're thinking about our feet and what size they are. But I'll be thinking about, you know, what they do for us on a daily basis. Time to start looking at that a little bit more. Okay, so I'm not even thinking about breath as I'm here, I'm talking to you anyway, just, you know, flexing. So now I'm just bringing my feet in and I'm just pressing away through the heel and flexing the toes. So there's a bit more stretch out. Yeah, it originates at the foot. Bit more of a stretch out through the back of the legs. Awesome. I normally do that after I've been in cross-legged because it's just so nice to give your legs a shake and your arms a shake. Okay, cool. Please find yourself comfortably seated on your mat. Now, ankles crossed, one foot in front of the other, and lift up that foot and bring it back. There we go, 3 options. You want to be mindful you don't want your knees up here, as that as a telltale sign that I know that you're going to be feeling it in the hip area, and that's going to roll that down to the knee area, and you're going to be having issues with your knees, which we don't want. So you know, I'm just going to come into one foot in front of the other, one foot behind. It's cool as well. Palms down, chin to your chest. And just begin to notice your breath. Just begin to notice your breath. It's like you don't change your breath right now. You simply become aware of it. You become aware of the inhale through the nose, through the mouth. You become aware of the exhale through the nose or the mouth. But equally, while you're sat here, just be mindful that you're sat up tall in your spine. Because yoga is really good for looking after you physically, right? And because it hones in to looking after your spine. And if you use the right kind of core breath, you're going to get the support that your lower back needs. And all around that area, you get backaches, you don't, you get all achy down the bottom of your spine. Yes, it's the flexibility and the lack of movement, but also it's the lack of core strength holding you all together. So just be very mindful that you're sat up. There's probably a bit of engagement to kind of maintain that, right? And over time you feel that less. Still with your breath, or still with your breath. Now your breath is going to become longer. And you're going to feel as if the movement of the breath is going down to the belly. So it's almost like the belly expands on the inhale. And then as you exhale, you can feel the belly moving towards you. I hope that you're feeling, lift your head up guys, open your eyes if those shut. I really hope that you're beginning to feel yourself mellow. And that mellow is happening because there's less activity up here in the mind, and you know, you're dropping down into your body. And if this feels a little bit twitchy, a little bit uncomfortable, then that for me is a telltale sign that you need to do this. You need to do this more, you need to do yoga more. I guess some people will lean into nervous regulation. I don't really talk about that. It just doesn't float my boat. It's all about, then again, about putting words to a feeling. I think you should just feel the feeling. You know, mornings, we don't always have a great morning. Sometimes people have said things, sometimes we've read things, sometimes we've heard things, sometimes we've touched things, sometimes we've smelled something that's made us feel really quite icky, uncomfortable, bleh, you know? And it's not a bad shout to notice that, because you can't have a day in your life where you have just one emotion. You will have many emotions. But it's really important that when the feeling is uncomfortable and not pleasant and not nice, that you do something about it and you shift out of it. And even like, you know, with the happy and the joyful feelings and the ecstatic feelings, you know, the way you're like, you just want to stay there. I think it's really good to not get too attached in, and then just bring yourself maybe back a bit, and then, you know, just become very aware that you are in charge of how you feel, I guess. Okay, have a little sway from side to side for me. Now this is when duality comes into play. You notice your sit bones, you feel grounded on your mat that way, right? And maybe you don't feel it right now, but you will begin to feel over time, as you continue with me on this journey, how sturdy your low back is. Still got the flexibility in there from the hips. I can sway from side to side, nice and easy, but there's a definite feeling of stability in my lower back. Stability and strength. And then if I work my way up to my shoulders and my upper back, I can just feel how soft and light that part of my body. It feels really free of aches. It feels like there's loads of movement to be had. And that, in essence, means I'm not going to have that pretense to, you know, have hunchback, and also because of my spine. You know, we don't want to be one thing, right? We are not one thing. So this just, I see this and this just works so well with me. My name is Penny. That's a coin in the UK. There are two sides of a coin, and I see a lot of life like that. The yin, the yang, the feminine, the masculine, the strength, the softness, strength in the base, softness up above. I do see the coin, the right, the wrong, taking accountability on both parties. I see it all, and I think it's a really nice attribute for me to have. Might not float your boat, but you know, it might be something you want to see into. Now, I want you, as you move on over to the side, I want you to let your head go like that, yeah? Just let it hang so you feel stretched out here, the top of the neck out. Roll yourself back up and then just roll over to the right, just kind of wave on over to the other side and let your head hang down. Just let your gaze be very soft, very natural. And then bring yourself up. Yeah, so I'm just getting you to think about incorporating some head and neck movement, okay? Because it's, again, a part of our body that we don't do any movement in, but we talk about achy shoulders, achy neck. Also, there's that thing where people do really quick movement. And maybe, I'll be honest, I may well have done that in my younger years. But as you get older, it's not a good shout to move quickly. For many reasons, right? You're slowing down, taking it easy, a bit more mindfulness. This is a breath and movement session. And I just think you can feel more when you slow things down a bit more. Okay, so here we go. You're going to take your chin over. So this is my left side. It's probably be your right side? Left side. I mirror imaging class, and I must watch one of these videos back and see. Bring your head forwards. I haven't even talked about the breath yet. Take your chin over to the other shoulder. And equally notice when you're on your mat with me, we are smiling our way through the session because you're beginning to shift in your body. If you're already feeling like ding, a big old smiley face when you come in, you're going to leave. Right. But if I woke up this morning, had it from the kids, oh, thanks, I'm happy to have a smile on my face right now. Okay. Over to one side, back, forwards, over to the other side, and back, forwards. Right, now let's go with breath. Slowly though, inhaling, the chin goes to the shoulder. Exhaling, the head comes back to face me. I'm very paying S's on words. Backs. Now take your chin up to the ceiling. Be mindful that you don't overstretch the front of your neck. Bring your head back to me and drop your chin down to the chest. Head forwards, chin up. Head forwards, chin down. Okay, with the breath. Inhale, head up. Exhale, gaze forwards. Inhale, drop chin to chest. Exhale, lift up. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling all the way down. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Now roll your chin up to your left shoulder for me and look over your left shoulder. Now roll your chin back to that starting point and then roll it over to the right shoulder. So you're simply rolling your chin from shoulder. Inhaling, rolling it all the way to one shoulder to the other. Exhaling, rolling it back. Inhaling, rolling it back to the other shoulder. And then exhaling, rolling it back. And then rolling it back, chin to chest, and lift your head up. Now circle your ribs for me. Make some circles with your ribs. If you are going to be someone who has a business and organisation, turn back in the opposite direction. You are very soulful, bunny. You perhaps don't lean into lots of things that are out there like human design, astrology, numbers. You're not actually governed by, those kind of things that don't seem to float your boat. And you are very similar to myself. I have a chat with you about this. So people find themselves leaning into other things to learn about them and to help themselves. And while I think this is a very good shout, it often seems to me like, when we just feel like we just have to keep learning. It's like the healing thing. We just keep on needing to keep healing because we need to fix, like we need to learn. We need to learn all the time. And then in learning, you can learn too much. And you can get lost in learning, like you can get lost in healing. You can just get lost in the two things. This is all just my opinion based on my life experience and how I've actually managed to come from a place of there to being in a place where I'm like, ha, and I'm helping other people and other women. You know, women who have been to therapy for years and then come to me and are like, oh, all right, okay. Why? Because I ask awkward questions and I make women feel awkward within themselves. And you might think, oh my God, well, that's a bit fucking me. But the problem is with you thinking that way is you're never gonna grow if you're not made to feel uncomfortable. This is why this movement and breath work is one of the things why some people don't like it, because it makes their body feel uncomfortable. They feel uncomfortable, therefore it can't be right, because they think that anything that they don't associate being uncomfortable. They want to do things that they enjoy all the time. You know, they don't realise that they need to give this a go to see, because they're actually they would come out the other end feeling very comfortable. That's it. But lots of people don't see that. I don't know if you don't see that, if you don't maybe soulful, if you don't see that there's more to life out there, which I know that obviously most of the women who come to me and work with me are that way inclined. There is more to it. And I think if you're running a business and you just keep on looking out and keep looking and to learn to bring more stuff in, I think it would be a very good shout to start looking at yourself and leaning into your intuition. And this, this is the movement that will get you there, and at the same time it will look after your beautiful body. Okay, now I'm a big one for just before we get up and move to really just enhancing and leaning in to the core breath. That's all about taking the breath lower and deeper to create space down in the hip area, and it's all about on the exhale really drawing in and hugging in center, front, sides and back, and letting that strong breath warm up the spine, creating a wave, making you grow a little bit taller each time. I can actually feel myself growing. You thought you stopped growing, as now, well, am I going to be the only woman who doesn't shrink in the world? And then the breath is up, 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 up and out. Okay, so there's some fabulous movements to really fire up that core breath. If you want to, this is something I go over when I do my mentorship. We go more in depth with the movement that I've spoken about, because that's really important, and it's very much tailored towards you as an individual in your life. So all that sort of thing goes on in the nudge. You've been looking everywhere. Everywhere, you've been looking in the wrong direction. The nudge is where it's at. It's 12 hourly sessions with me. £1,111. You take those sessions over 6 months at the moment. That's what's rolling, so you've got plenty of time to embody what you're doing. And this is a fabulous time for you to really do something different. I think that's why I just really lean into doing things. I think it's really important to do things. I think it's important, if you are a different person, I think it's really important to lean into doing things that are different than what everyone else is doing. And this is definitely different. Movement that will actually develop your intuition. So here we go, that's the movement. Inhaling, arms up, exhaling, strong breath, toes flexed, heels away. I'm going to keep my feet up here and just have a moment in boat. So that's straight legs, arms out. Really firing up my core as I exhale to hold myself, leaning forwards, reaching for my toes and feet to the floor. I'm just going to move your knees from side to side. Yeah. So really working on the energy within us. You'll feel different now. You feel different, right? Than when if you were to just sit here and notice your body. Okay, no hands needed. Please bring yourself all the way to standing. See how I get on with this, because I've got my camera on a tripod. Hey, right, okay, so how else are we doing for timesies? Oh, fabulous, okay. Feet underneath you. your arms up like this. Palms together. Okay, so arms to the side, inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to take you into a pose in a minute that's really going to fire up the whole of your body. Take your gaze on up now if you feel, and the arms go up. Draw it into the core as you exhale. Right. So a few more movements just to get some stuff in. Okay, rolling of the hips as you stand, so feet a little bit wider for me. Just soft knees. This is the thing, feet a little bit wider, some ninja lunges. This is the thing, you know, you work with someone who has loads of experience with movement and breath and working with your energy and to really enhance who you are on a soulful level, you know, developing your intuition is a big one when it comes to that, really feeling into what feels good to you, okay? Knees above your ankles, feet out to the side, palms together. I take my feet out, so I want my knees above my ankles when I come down. Tripod feet, reaching up for your fingertips, exhaling, fist to core. Ha! Tongue out and give me a roar so loud. Ha! You fierce, ha! Can you feel it in your body yet? Can you feel, ha! The energy within you. Ha! Ha! That smile was an extension, and that laugh was an extension of how I'm feeling. My name is Penny, Penelope Jane. You may call me Pen, as we're friends, and you come on my YouTube channel and you check me out. And if I was you, and I was a woman, and I was really looking to develop this beautiful, soulful side of me, I probably felt like I'd been nudged. So get in touch, contact me, and let's have a chat about if we believe that the nudge is the right way for you to go.